Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we are going to discuss a crucial question that a lot of you have been asking. How can I optimize my Docker file to reduce image size and build time? So let's dive straight into it and explore some creative and efficient ways to make your Docker images leaner and faster to build. First off, we need to understand what a Docker file is. A Docker file is a text document that contains instructions for Docker to build an image. The smaller the image size, the quicker it loads, and faster build times mean less waiting around. So, how can we optimize our Docker files to achieve these benefits? Let's start with the first way, using a small base image. The smaller your base image, the smaller the overall size of your image. Sounds simple, right? For instance, instead of using the Ubuntu image as a base, you might want to use Alpine, which is much smaller in size. Moving on to the next method, multi-stage builds. With multi-stage builds, you can use one image for building your application and a different image for running it. This means you only carry forward what you need into the final image and leave behind all the unnecessary layers, thus significantly reducing the size. Next up, minimize the number of layers. Every command in your Docker file creates a new layer in the Docker image. More layers equal a larger image size. So, try to minimize the number of layers by chaining commands in one layer. Another effective strategy is cleaning up in the same layer. Make sure you're cleaning up cache and removing unwanted files in the same Docker file instruction where they were created. This will prevent the cache or files from becoming a part of the image layer and increasing your image size. Now, let's talk about avoiding cache bust. Docker uses a build cache to speed up image creation. When Docker finds a match for an existing layer, it reuses the cache instead of generating a new layer. However, if you make a change to your Docker file, Docker has to rebuild all the layers afterward, which is called a cache bust. So, avoid unnecessary cache busts to cut down your build time. And finally, use Docker ignore. There are probably some files or directories in your application code that don't need to be included in the Docker image. Using a Docker ignore file, you can indicate which files Docker should ignore, thus reducing the size of your image and the build time. Wrapping up, optimizing Docker files for reduced image sizes and build times is a mix of strategic structuring and command utilization. It might take a bit of practice, but the benefits are well worth it. That's all for today's video. Hope you found it helpful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tech tips and tricks. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for our next video where we will dive deeper into AWS. See you soon.